One of the advantages, of course, of having a YouTube channel and a reasonable amount of subscribers, you become a voice and you start getting emails from people, emails all of the time, in fact, with inside information, stories, even people that have given up all hope and want to turn to you as a last-ditch attempt to get their story told. Now, I refer back to what's going on with the post office, that whole scandal, and the effect it's not only having on the sub-postmasters, but customers as well. Now, I received an email a couple of days ago from an individual who wishes to remain anonymous, purely because they've reached a time in their life where they don't want to be hassled anymore by these people, the problems it's caused them as a family, and they've had enough, but they want to get their story out. If you follow the post office at all or anything related to that, then please subscribe to the channel, because there's lots of information here and there will be more to come out. Now, this guy has written me a story or, their events, what happened to them, and wanted me to relay it to you verbatim. So here it goes, and I'm grateful for them to communicate it. Okay, how many people actually realize that they are actually dealing with an organization based offshore in Ireland, the Bank of Ireland? The Bank of Ireland. Anyone that walks into a post office to carry out any financial transactions at all, and they believe they're dealing with the post office. Well, the vast majority of it isn't. That is correct. An offshore bank, one which has been fined the largest fine ever imposed on a banking organization. They are in charge of every post office counter transaction and all post office bank savings and other accounts through the UK. The fine, 100 million euros, or 83,300,000 euros, after they claim tax relief on the fine. This fine was imposed because of the scandal the bank was involved in over their abuse of customers' tracker rate mortgages and the charges they imposed on their customers, other than direct post office mortgage customers who were left alone. Something I've never really understood. Did the Post Office Board object? Could such action not be so easily hidden? Or did the Bank of Ireland not want to upset the British government? In 2013, the Bank of Ireland informed 13,500 customers in the UK that they would be increasing the amount of charges and interest and moving the base rate from 0.5 to 4.99%, a six-fold increase virtually overnight. At the time, there was a short period where other financial institutions screamed a bit, calling it deplorable, unethical, and some illegal, but that soon died down, so much that two other companies, the Skipton and West Bromwich Building Societies, leapt onto the bandwagon and did the same thing, seeing an easy way to make lots of lovely money. Now, at the time, and its subsequent weeks and months, those affected got together and tried to fight the bank's actions. The banking ombudsman was the first port of call. What a waste of time. I've got another video I'll bring you on that as well. They were never going to bite the hand that feeds them and immediately supported the bank, something the Bank of Ireland has relied on ever since. We tried via the law to fight, but there was never a point where we could raise the seven-figure legal fees, and they knew and relied on that. However, the West Bromwich customers took out a class action and won, receiving all their monies back at a cost to the West Bromwich of some £27.5 million. The reversal by the court of the Ombudsman decision should have made our case so simple, but the Bank of Ireland refused to accept the court's decision, saying we would have to fight them in court at an initial cost in excess of £10 million. This clearly we could not afford. They had bottomless pockets and they battered us with that fact. This happens all of the time, with cases like this when you try and take on the establishment. They seem to have endless supplies of money. However, finally, the central bank found against the Bank of Ireland, and they were fined the largest amount ever given to a bank. Also, they were instructed to make provision for 125 million euros over and above the fine to compensate all their customers affected by their actions. The Financial Times publicised that the total actual costs should have been in the region of 278 million. In subsequent publications, both the press and online, there are claims by the bank, the operators of the British Post Office do not forget that they have settled compensation on 8 out of 10 affected customers. I cannot find one who has even been contacted. I understand it's now the Bank of Ireland position that it only intends to compensate those living in Ireland, not in the UK, and as far as they are concerned, the matter is closed. Personally, I lost my home as it had been forced to be sold at £120,000 below market value to prevent the post office bankers taking it and me getting nothing. Also, I had to find some £30,000 in extra interest and charges levied by the bank. It cost some far more as they did not live to see the fines imposed. Gavin Kelly, chief executive for the bank, is quoted as stating, "We unreservedly apologise to all customers harmed by the tracker mortgage issue. We've learned hard lessons." That's the usual excuse, isn't it? The bank's financial report stated their action resulted in a loss of 50 homes and 25 residential properties and would have been avoided if the Bank of Ireland had complied with the most basic and fundamental of its obligations. They make no mention of the mental and financial scars left or the ultimate losses. These are your post office bankers. Did you know? No, I didn't think so. There you go. Complete and utter scandal, all perpetuated by the good old-fashioned post office. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you want to see another one of my videos on this or any other on the post office, start with that one there. I look forward to talking to you again soon. Toodaloo.